Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to that sports stuff video. Today, we were on the last episode of the off-season plan. Man, that's crazy. I'm with the very last episode. Right before the clock strikes 12. On the free agency period opening up for the NFL officially, where teams can announce where guys are going to be signing. Getting this video out is really important to me, guys. The last couple of years, I've been doing these off-season plans, but I always miss out on doing the last couple of teams because I just don't time it well. This year, it means a lot. I was able to get it done. You guys don't understand. So if you guys do enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe. And let's get into it. I'm really excited. Philadelphia Eagles offseason plan. How can we repeat as Super Bowl champions? Pretty easily. Pretty easily. But going into offseason at cuts or trades, we're at currently positive $22.6 million. That's a great number to be at. Obviously we do a couple of trades, a couple of cuts to ensure we have as much cap space as possible to go out, sign some fringe roster guys, re-sign our own guys, and win a Super Bowl next year. So first off, I'm going to be trading is Bryce Huff. Last year had 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 7 run stops, and 20 pressures. He was not what Philadelphia was expecting. When he was in New York, he was a pretty good pass rusher. But the minute he touched Philadelphia and he got his payday, he just kind of gave up, which is really disappointing to say. He struggled to stay active on game day, including being inactive on Super Bowl Sunday, which is a yikes. I mean, obviously you want as many guys on a defensive line as active as you can. And the fact that Bryce Huff was the guy they chose to be inactive over guys like Jalen Hunt, who was a rookie, not a good look. So we're going to turn to a team in desperate need of any edge help. That's going to be the Atlanta Falcons. So Philadelphia is going to get a 2026 third and a 2025 seventh. And the reason they get a 2026 third instead of a fourth or a fifth is because we're going to dump a couple of fifth rounders onto Atlanta. So Atlanta, they get Bryce Huff and 3 fifth-round picks to really sweeten the pot to get that third-round pick. And because we give up 3 fifths, we're gonna also begin trading for 1/7. So basically, it's 3 picks and Bryce Hunt. Oh my God, I'm really bad. My mouth is just not what I'm reading is not what I'm saying. So Philadelphia, because they get a third-round pick out of Bryce Huff, they give up a couple of third-rounders, and to sweeten the pot, they do trade 1/7 for those 3 fifth-rounders. And I think it's a pretty good deal. Atlanta only has 4 picks this upcoming draft, so this allows them to get 3 additional picks. 2 additional picks. And they get a player in the deal, and all they have to do is give up a future third. Pretty good. The Eagles, they save $4.2 million in the cap space. They get a future third and a 7th-round pick this year, and they give up a couple of their 5th-rounders that probably wouldn't even make the team. So they convert 3 5th-rounders into 1/7 and a future pick. I think that's a great deal for both teams. Bryce Huff, go to Atlanta, be their premier pass rusher, be their number 1 guy, and maybe he can redo what he was doing in New York. But at worst, you cut him out to next season because it doesn't work out. Then I'm not going to be doing any other cuts outside of Darius Slay and James Bradbury, who have already been cut from the team. So no additional cuts are going to be made on top of what's already been done. Both of them were designated as post-June 1st cuts. So you save $4 million with Darius Slay and $2 million with James Bradbury. We're going the rookie path, the rookie contract way for our contracts at corner, as everyone expects them to be doing. Then in restructures, I'm not going to do any restructures either. And I want to show you guys why. So on Over the Cap, this is what the restructures look like. There's no money you can save. There's no money you can save in restructures, so I'm not going to push any money down the line that I don't have to keep intact the future cap space that this team has. So no restructures, which I think is pretty interesting, but you got to do what you got to do to make sure that the future has cap space and you aren't just wasting money this year. So in re-signings, you now have $33 million, and I'm not going to do any additional re-signings outside of Zach Bond. All they did was announce his 3-year, $51 million deal. They did not announce what the cap hit and the base salary and the bonuses and all that would be. So I'm just doing a basic, what I would do with those numbers. But last year he had 111 tackles, 4 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 69 run stops, and 16 pressures. He was the best linebacker, period, last year. He was a great run stopper. And I even said for years, I thought Zach Bond was really good in New Orleans. And he's going to go to a team that can really let him shine. So Zach Bond, this is what I'm predicting this contract is going to look like. Again, they're on Spot Rack and on Over the Cap. There is no update for what his contract looks like. So I did a 3-year, $51 million deal, $31 million guaranteed at 60%. That's exactly what they announced. But I think it's going to be a $12 million signing bonus with 2 void years, and the cap never goes above 15.5. And that first year, it's only going to be a $5.5 million hit with that signing bonus going into that cap number, giving him about what? $17.5 million that first year in actual cash. That's exactly what's going to end up happening. And it's not a bad number at all for what he's going to be able to do for them for the future. Then going into free agency, you get positive $28.8 million. You guys know I like to leave about $20 million in cap space. So it's gonna be a very small draft class, a very small free agency class, but of guys that can actually impact you day one. So first off, I'm gonna go and sign Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins last year had 75 PFF grade, 76 pass blocking, 74 run blocking with 4 sacks allowed. He actually had a pretty good year for Chicago at guard. When he was drafted as a tackle, he didn't really play well the first 2.5 years. And then once he moved to guard, he actually turned into a pretty solid player. But I think you can tell Tevin Jenkins, hey, you saw what we did for Mekhi Becton, right? He's gonna get a massive payday. He'll probably get like what, $5 to $7 million in the open market. Why not come here for one year, $3 million? And next year you can cash in on $10 to $15 million a year, because that's what Mekhi Becton's about to do. He fits the run scheme really well. He's an athletic guard that can pull effectively. And if you don't want to sign Tevin Jenkins, you could let Tyler Steen start. As I did feel pretty comfortable with him in the Super Bowl. He played pretty well against Chris Jones. So maybe you let Tyler Steen start all of next year and you don't sign Tevin Jenkins. But I'm willing to sign Tevin Jenkins, have Tyler Steen be that swing guard, and say, hey, you could get $5 to $8 million in free agency this year. Why not come to Philadelphia, play really well for us for a year, raise your cap stock, and then next year you can go and sign for $10 to $15 million elsewhere. I think that is a very palpable That's a very palpable pitch for a free agent for any of these guards that are in the NFL free agency right now. Is come to Philadelphia, play for 1 year, go get more money next year. I think that's absolutely something that every guard would want to do. I think Tevin Jenkins is ideally a perfect fit for that, where he's a former, high draft bust that played pretty okay his last year with his team. Come here, play really well, go get more money next year. Then Matt Judon. Matt Judon had 28 tackles, 6 sacks, 21 run stops, and 25 pressures last year. He proved in Atlanta to still be an effective pass rusher. He's a great power guy, uses his body and his strength really well. He helps replace both Bryce Huff and Josh Sweat's minutes for cheap. He's a multi-time Pro Bowler, and he's now the vet in this young defensive line room. So with Josh Sweat leaving and both Bryce Huff being traded, all you have really is Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith, and that's really it. So I want to sign Matt Judon to be that veteran presence on the edge for 1 year, $4.5 million. So he can actually try and, play for a Super Bowl that I think Matt Judon's really missed out on his entire career. Is that every time he's on a team, they're never Super Bowl contenders, right? The Ravens, the minute he leaves, they're in contention for a Super Bowl. He's on the Patriots after the Super Bowl window happened. He's in Atlanta. Guess what? Now the rest of Michael Penix's rookie contract, they're going to try and win a Super Bowl. He's missing out on all these windows. So I think Philadelphia, they have the need, they have the money. Come to Philadelphia, be either a high-end rotation guy or even potentially a starter for this team. 1 year, $4.5 million. So now entering the draft, you have $23.3 million. You could go and sign up some more fringe roster guys, but I'm willing to let that money roll over to next year and just sign my draft class, because this draft class, it's pretty good. So at number 32, with the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they're going to grab Landon Jackson from Arkansas. I did consider a trade up or a trade down, but as you guys have seen in my last couple of videos, I keep doing trade ups and trade downs. I just want to stick at 32, grab a player, and I'm going to grab Landon Jackson. He's a little bit of a reach, but I think grabbing one of the young edge rushers is desperately needed in this really thin edge room now. He's a great run defender. He had 7 sacks the last 2 years. He could, again, I could see a trade up or a trade down at draft night, but I don't want to be repetitive in these videos. But I love his 6'7" frame. He has very long arms, and as a run defender, I think he could absolutely play very early in his career on this defensive line, and I think he could shine as a run defender. Then number 64, I'm gonna grab Kevin Winston Jr. from Penn State. It's not giving me a great grade on PFF. I don't care. This is a former first-round guy, but with an injury this year, it ruined his stock. He has great ball hawking skills. He attacks the point of catch. You can go man-to-man as well with him at safety. He attacks the run as well. He can be a strong safety or free safety in the NFL. I love his versatility. I love Kevin Winston. And I think he's only fallen to the end of the second due to injury. So, again, the Philadelphia Eagles, they love taking guys, BPA, just drafting guys that, they shouldn't be there. Let's take them. Kevin Winston should not be available at 64, but because of injury falls, and they're going to be able to reap the benefits in a year. Then at number 96, you're having Torrey Horton from Colorado State. Another guy, because of injury, is falling. Big body wide receiver. This team loves that kind of mold. He would be a second rounder, but his injury killed his season. Multi-time 1,000-yard receiver at Colorado State. A perfect addition to this team. Great run blocker. He uses his frame to get open. Crisp route runner. A lot of people are comparing him to Josh Reynolds. I'm trying to think of other guys that like Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds, Demarcus Robinson, like that wide receiver 3 that is a pretty big body wide receiver that is just the glue guy, gets the catch, the hard catches, gets 4 or 5 catches a game for 40 yards. That's what they're kind of copying Torrey Horton to. So Torrey Horton, getting him at 96, probably would have been a second rounder if healthy. Another guy that if he's falling at 96, they're not going to be able to pass up on him and say, whoa, we have a guy, because of injury, is falling. Let's take him, and you don't need him to start day one. You have Jahan Dotson. You have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. We don't need him to play day one. He's going to sit, recover, and learn the playbook, and when he's healthy, we have a very big 6'3" receiver that we know can play in our system. Then number 129, grabbing guard Willie Lampkin from North Carolina. Lampkin, he's an undersized center guard. Has it ever worked for the Eagles? I don't know. Has an undersized center ever worked for the Eagles? Let me know, guys. But Cam Jurgens was an exceptional guard the last few years. So, Willie Lampkin, he's 5'11", which is very small for an NFL offensive lineman. But Willie Lampkin, I think he'll be playing center in the NFL. So, move him to center, you move Jurgens back out to guard, and Lampkin can sit for a year and ideally play center in 2026 with Cam Jurgens at guard. Because of Tyler Steen, again, he was like a 5th or 6th round pick, so Tyler Steen cannot be a guy that you plan for in the fucture. Because, he was fine in the Super Bowl, but, he can always improve. Cam Jurgens is obviously better than Tyler Steen. And if Willie Lampkin at center and Cam Jurgens at guard is better than Cam Jurgens at center and Tyler Steen at guard, you're going to do it. But Willie Lampkin, 5 years in the SEC, it proved every year that he was worth playing. 5 years of great film, 0 sacks the last 2 years at guard. I just don't think he's guard quality in the NFL. But again, 5'11" in the SEC playing guard, no sacks allowed. That's really good. So I think there is a place for Willie Lampkin in the NFL. I think it's at center. And, the Eagles, they know how to play with an undersized center. Then at 244, and Bryson Nesbitt, UNC. He's my guy in the 7th at tight end. As you guys remember from last year, he was my wide receiver in the 7th round. He moved to tight end this past year. He's a great receiver who, just because of his play level this year, fumbled the bag really bad. Former wide receiver. He's a William blocker. I see him as a fringe roster guy as a receiving tight end. But again, the Eagles, if they can win another Super Bowl, I would love if Bryson Nesbitt could be a part of it. So that's my offseason plan. Not a lot of big mountain moving moves, but you trade guys that aren't helping your roster. You re-sign the guys that are helping your roster. You lose Josh Sweat and Milton Williams in free agency because of the cap space. But you grab Tevin Jenkins, you grab Matt Jordan to replace them. And in the draft, you grab a great run-stopping edge, a great safety, a great wide receiver, an undersized center, and a receiving tight end. I think you can just, honestly, guys, this roster doesn't even need any free agents. They can run it back with exactly how the roster is right now and probably win a Super Bowl. So any additions are a net positive. So if you guys enjoy, please leave a like, comment down. Please leave a, oh my God. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit notification bell to notify when I post next. Again, thank you guys for watching this series. It's been amazing. I mean, truly the reception I've gotten there, from subscribers, comments, and likes, it means the world to me seeing how much you guys love the series. Every year I'm going to be doing it. At the end of free agency, I'm going to be doing grading free agents. We'll be going into the draft season here soon. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for watching. And again, if you do want to support me, I appreciate it. Please subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.